All right, ready for a deep dive. Today we're tackling success. What really makes people successful and why some seem to just, well, get there easier than others. We'll be looking at Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret for this one. It's a classic in the self-help world. It started as an essay, then boom, became this huge bestseller. And it's still impacting people decades later.
Yeah, it's wild how relevant it still is. I mean, you'd think by now we'd have success all figured out, right? But Nightingale hit on something timeless, something that speaks to anyone who wants a life with purpose.
Exactly. Makes you wonder, what is the strangest secret, anyway? What did Nightingale find after all that searching for the key to success?
Well, the secret itself is simple. We become what we think about. Sounds basic, but honestly, it's powerful stuff. It makes us really look at how our thoughts create our reality.
Like, our minds are magnets, pulling in the stuff we focus on most. Nightingale's own life really shows this. He starts searching for success at 12, growing up in Southern California. Seems like everyone's rich there, but his family struggled. That really got him thinking, why do some thrive while others just scrape by?
And even as a kid, he loved reading. His mom was into travel books especially, so he got that adventurous spirit. He read everything philosophy, psychology, always looking for that key. Joined the Marines, then radio, always that question of what separates the successful.
Talk about dedication, a lifetime searching for this secret. And then he finds Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and has this epiphany.
He realized the answer had been there all along. And it wasn't just about positive vibes. He went deeper into visualization. Turns out, when we vividly imagine our goals, it's not just daydreaming. It's like prepping our brains, making success more likely.
He has these great examples, like a businessman in a wealthy neighborhood. This guy's convinced anyone can achieve that level of success, and he lives it. And then a young man in India, totally sure this life is just one of many, totally different situations, but both shaping their reality through belief.
It's mind-blowing how powerful beliefs are, right? Makes you think, what beliefs are shaping your life right now?
Seriously, what thoughts are you giving the most power to? But Nightingale goes further, connecting this to the law of cause and effect.
Right, as you sow, so shall you reap. Applies to everything. Relationships, health, money, you name it. You can't just sit around waiting for good stuff. You got to put in the work.
He uses this analogy of wood stove. You want heat, you gather wood, then you strike the match. Action gets results.
And he backs it up with real-life examples. People who worked hard, helped others, had a good attitude. They thrived. Those who blamed others, made excuses, expecting success without effort, well.
Two very different outcomes. So we've got the power of thought, the law of cause and effect. And then Nightingale adds another layer, service to others. He even quotes Einstein, who believed our whole purpose is to serve others.
A real shift in perspective, right? We think success is personal gain, but he says fulfillment comes from helping others. When we focus on giving value, solving problems, the rewards multiply.
He talks about this couple, McSeven and Beryl. They became millionaires solving a simple problem, dirty hands. They weren't after riches, just wanted to help. But by serving others, their own success boomed.
Brings up a key question for everyone listening. How can you multiply your service? Think about your skills, passions, knowledge. Is there a way to benefit others on a bigger scale? Mentoring, volunteering, even creating a product that solves a problem. Expanding your reach, helping more people, often leads to greater rewards too.
Nightingale used his radio show as an example. Started with one station, ended up on hundreds worldwide. By sharing his message more widely, his impact and success exploded.
And it doesn't have to be some huge thing. Even being more helpful in your current job, going above and beyond, consistently, those small acts over time can make a real difference.
Totally, it's like a ripple effect. But one thing that's always stuck with me, Nightingale says there's not just one path to success. He talks about two types of people, river people and goal people. Which one do you think you are?
Oh, interesting question. Like a success personality test, huh? River people are all about one big passion that consumes them, like Mozart with music or Henry Royce obsessed with making the quietest car.
They've found their flow, their purpose, and nothing else matters. And they achieve amazing things. Their dedication is total. Athletes, artists, scientists, lots of them have that river people mindset. It's not even about the rewards. It's the joy of doing it.
Exactly. Then you have the goal people. They thrive on setting big goals and crushing them. Entrepreneurs, CEOs, adventurers, always pushing limits.
Like Lee Iacocca, the guy who saved Chrysler. Wasn't a car nut necessarily, but a master of setting goals, rallying his team. For them, the excitement is in the journey, the strategy, the problem solving.
It's fascinating to think, Which type are you? Drawn to one big passion or energized by setting and achieving goals? Could be a mix of both.
Probably is for most. But the point is, both ways work. Knowing your strengths, what motivates you, that's key.
And speaking of things that light you up, Nightingale talks about ideas. They're the foundation of progress, driving innovation.
And he makes it practical, how to get in that idea mindset. Be observant, curious, combine things in new ways.
I love his tip about think time. Schedule time to just brainstorm, let your mind wander. Amazing what comes up when you make space for creativity.
Totally. I've started doing that. Makes a huge difference. He says even ordinary ideas can become extraordinary. He tells this story about his friends. They made a hand cleaner called Flight. Just trying to solve their own problem, ended up a multi-million-dollar business.
Proof that you don't need some groundbreaking invention. Sometimes it's a fresh look at everyday problems, finding solutions people will buy.
And of course, got to talk about attitude, right? Nightingale says it shapes our reality, affects our outcomes, and the people around us.
You know, I used to be skeptical about that whole positive attitude thing, but working with teams, I see how contagious it is. It lifts everyone up, creates a better environment.
It's like if you believe you'll succeed, you're more likely to take action. And you approach problems with optimism, more likely to find solutions.
Absolutely. And speaking of overcoming challenges, Nightingale tells the story of Charles Schultz, creator of Peanuts. Rejected tons of times early on, but never gave up. That's the power of perseverance, sticking with it even when it's tough.
Such an inspiring story. Failure is just part of the process. You learn from it, come back stronger.
It's that willingness to keep going, that's what separates those who achieve their dreams. And on that note, he dives into entrepreneurship. People who take risks, challenge the status quo, create something new.
Entrepreneurs, they've got this vision, resilience, can-do attitude. They believe even when others doubt them. Put in the work, face the challenges, keep pushing forward.
And he's honest. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. Risks, setbacks, constant learning. But the rewards are huge. The freedom, the control, bringing your vision to life.
Not for everyone, but for those who are drawn to it, it can be incredibly fulfilling. But something that really struck me, Nightingale challenges the idea of security as we usually think of it.
He says true security isn't clinging to a job. It's being self-reliant, adaptable. He even says embracing insecurity can make you grow.
Like that saying, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. Challenges force us to grow, discover what we're capable of.
Exactly. And it ties into his focus on mental health and success. He lists 5 things: self-acceptance, good relationships, realistic goals, independence, being productive.
He says these are crucial for both happiness and success. When we're mentally strong, we handle stress better, make good decisions, stay focused.
And it's not just about achieving things. It's enjoying the process, having perspective, even when things get tough.
And finally, he talks about balance, finding joy in the journey. He points out 3 key areas: work, family, and income. Not just financial income, but what he calls psychic income, that feeling of purpose, fulfillment you get from your work.
He says finding balance between these is essential for long-term happiness.
Yeah.
You can't neglect one area without consequences. It's about creating a life that feels whole, where everything supports each other.
He even suggests imagining your ideal holiday on Earth, a life that combines meaningful work, strong relationships, time for growth. A powerful exercise makes you think bigger than just success in one area.
Really makes you think, what would your perfect day look like if you could have it all?
Yeah, it's like a blueprint for a life that actually reflects your values, not just chasing someone else's idea of success.
Exactly. And as we wrap up on The Strangest Secret, I think it's important to note this isn't just some feel-good stuff. Nightingale gives us real tools to build the lives we want.
So true. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but he reminds us we have so much power. Our thoughts really do shape things. Helping others is the true key to success. Perseverance, gotta have it. And even those insecure feelings, they can push us to grow.
He's basically handing us a map and saying, go create the life you want.
Love it. So empowering. What's the one thing you hope people take away from this?
I think it's this. Our potential is huge, but it starts with a thought, a belief, and then most importantly, taking action. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about that first step, then the next. Let your values guide you and focus on helping others along the way.
So important. It's not about overnight success or some magic trick. It's about showing up every day, taking those steps, aligning your thoughts and actions, creating the life you want piece by piece.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, success isn't a finish line. It's the journey itself. There'll be bumps, but if you keep learning, growing, contributing to something bigger, you're on the right path.
Well said. And that wraps up our deep dive into The Strangest Secret. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure.
Remember, knowing this stuff is great, but the real magic happens when you use it. So go out there, embrace your potential, and build a life that truly reflects who you are. Until next time.